So great friends, great to have you all here. This is Kirti Bakshi here, and I am your trainer, coach and facilitator for metaphor therapy workshop. So most of you have wanted to know what is metaphor therapy. So just like you have different forms of therapies, this is one another form of therapy. Let's understand where does this come from. So metaphors is something that is the meaning of metaphor is expressing indirectly. Whenever we express something indirectly, it's called as a metaphor. So if I want to tell you like I don't want to live with you, I can just say that, probably air and fire can't be together. So if I just say that air and fire can't be together, I'm trying to tell you something, and it's left for you to infer what I'm trying to say, but I have communicated my message. So sometimes we like to say one stitch in time, a stitch in time saves nine. These are all metaphorical proverbs. Yeah. So Carl Jung was the father of modern projective psychology. So you have in the world of psychology, you have two big names. One is Sigmund Freud and one is Carl Jung. And then there were William James and there were other names. So Carl Jung said, while William James was at his, while Freud was introducing his psychoanalytical school, that's the time. It went on for 10 years, but soon the therapies started taking a lot of time. And people wanted something more incisive, more quicker. And that was around also the time the new generation of therapists were coming in, new generation of psychologists and psychiatrists were coming in. So that was the time Carl Jung came on the scene. And Carl Jung said that everything that we have in our memories is stored in the form of a metaphor. Okay, so the subconscious mind, now this is the key line. Aisha, would you like to sit down at a place, please?
I'll put my camera off.
Yeah. So Carl Jung said a very important line, and this is the basis of a very good therapy, whether or not we are doing metaphors or no. But what he established through various experiments was one single line. He said that the subconscious mind knows no language. Okay, the subconscious mind knows only images. All our memories, our experiences are stored in the form of images. Therefore, we express ourselves in images. And these images are called as metaphors. And the art of understanding these images and working with them is called metaphor therapy. So there are books written on metaphor therapy. We have a lot of researches going on metaphor therapy. Even if you will Google out, go to the Google out, you will find books on metaphor therapy. How did I happen to chance upon metaphor therapy? So I am an avid student of psychology. I've done my psychotherapy, but that's not where I learned metaphors. I went to a school where they were analyzing drawings and giving admissions to children. And that intrigued me, that how are they doing this? And then they also analyzed the drawings and they enrolled teachers. And that was what I was intrigued by. And I was at that point of time working with a company as the head of the research in psychology. They were making documentaries for the History Channel. And my job was to archive all the matter for them. And that time we were doing various famous personalities. And I happened to pick up Carl Jung. Like I wanted to know where drawing analysis came from. And I realized and I figured out that drawing analysis came from Carl Jung. And then I stumbled upon the biggest revelation of my life, which was The Man and His Symbols, which is a book written by Carl Jung, in which he vehemently goes and proclaims that if you were to go by what people see and what people say and what people show, go by what people show, because they can never be wrong, since all the images are presented are coming directly from the subconscious. So you will be surprised that even tarot was his finding. Even tarot was found by Carl Jung. And then, of course, he had written a theory on it. The theory got divorced totally, and the practicals remained, and then it went from hand to hand. And today we have like 10,000 different versions of the tarot. But at the end, the bottom line remains that the metaphor is the art of working with images. And images can be of three types. They can be a visual image, which is the drawing. They can be a verbal image, that is people talking in terms of metaphor, and we giving back suggestions to them in terms of metaphors, as well as imaginary metaphors, where people have imaginations and we are decoding those imaginary metaphors. So, for example, I can give you a bridge. I can tell you that, imagine you're going across a bridge. And when you take that bridge, what do you see? Where does it take you going? And when you are analyzing that bridge for me, I'm actually decoding the entire metaphor. I can give you a drawing to do with crayons, and I can analyze that drawing. Earlier, I used to do it on the group, but then some people requested me not to circulate that recording, because obviously it had their content into it, and so I stopped doing it because I respect people's privacy. Otherwise, I would have loved to demonstrate drawing analysis. So then there is drawing analysis, there is verbal metaphor, there's visual metaphor. And I was doing all this, and I was doing my psychotherapy practice, and I was learning metaphors from these European trainers, and they wouldn't teach you like as a whole. They would all teach you in part. I consolidated the whole thing. I went and did a 1-year research from every possible Jungian literature book that I could get, and I put together an experience in drawing analysis, which I started doing part-time along with my very active hypnotherapy and clinical practice of counseling. And it was then that I got famous for drawing analysis, and people started just coming to me for drawing analysis. But I wanted to do the entire therapy line with them, and soon my practice picked up. And 3 years down, my friends wanted to learn. They booked a hotel, and I'm talking to you all about a good 20 years back. My experience, my stay in this entire field is 25 years old. I graduated at the age of 24, and from this particular field. And from there on, I have been with various modalities of psychotherapy. My earliest training was in hypnotherapy. Then I started teaching metaphor therapy. Then I started teaching NLP. Then I teach child psychology and play therapy. And then I teach family constellations. Apart from that, I teach career counseling. So these are some of the things that I love to teach, simply because I have a motto of making many, many more barefoot psychologists. Like, who are barefoot psychologists? People who know that their voice has substance. What they say has an effect. People listen to you. There's an impact in you, but you have missed the classical psychology school. But still, you can be a light unto others. You have that inherent knowledge that your words matter. You have an inherent magnet that attracts and pulls people to you for advice and for suggestion. And what you say matters to them. The only thing that you don't know is how to formalize that sensibility. And that's where holistic coaching comes in. That's where techniques come in. And that's where metaphor comes in. So if you are somebody who is looking at making coaching or holistic coaching a career, it totally depends on that 1 hour of transformation that you can bring in. Whether you come from a clinical field or a counseling field, or from an international coaching scenario, or you coming from a PhD background, to the client, nothing matters. To the client, what matters is what have you done with them in that 1 hour? Did they walk out feeling any better? And did the technique you use was effective for them? Was it right for them? So putting the degrees aside, with total respect for all of them, I still felt that many students, I used to regularly go for lectures at Mitibai, at KC, at Jai Hind. And many students used to come to me for internships. But I was finding it increasingly difficult to give them a client because they didn't know techniques. They didn't know how the session flow would be. They didn't know how to open a session, how to develop the session, how to close the session. So I would always ask them that how did you close the session? What is it that the client took back home from the session? What insights could you create during your session? Now, this is actually something that's called as the practicals of the field. And the practicals do not come without techniques. And techniques have got nothing to do with your degree. Degrees give you theory, which is interesting, needed, very valuable. But ultimately, what matters into the practice is knowledge of good working techniques. And metaphor therapy is one such technique belonging to the projective school of psychology started by Carl Jung. And we have books now, and there are plenty of researches that are going on in the field of conventional psychoanalytical psychology, which are telling you that going back and making the client talk about their previous experience is not enough. You need to know how to put a closure. You need to know how to make them move forward. That makes a complete session. So how are you going to complete your session if you are not sitting over techniques? So techniques really, really matter. And metaphor therapy is a very, very essential technique to learn, simply because the more worsened the clients are and the more indirectly they want to express themselves, the more metaphors they are going to use. Today's generation of children is not so direct. They like things to be a little, roundabout. So they express themselves in metaphor. Apart from that, you can also go back to them in metaphors. And, it's a beautiful interaction that happens where a lot has been said, a lot has been understood. And yet there's no finger pointing at anybody that has happened. So in the workshop that we are going to have on metaphor therapy, we are going to be learning 7 to 8 different techniques which are going to help us start the session, process the session, close the session. And almost all different kinds of clients you would be able to handle after that. And I can tell you that because I have literally had students coming from raw areas, just having a desire to work with people. And metaphor therapy has given them the direction. It's been so beautiful. At some point of time, I want to record a video with them and bring it, but it's just that, once again, I don't want my interest to override their interest. Since they are established people in the field, I wouldn't want them to kind of go ahead and proclaim that they were novices at such a time. So it's merely that stops me, but otherwise we've got testimonials from all of them. I've been teaching metaphor therapy for 15 years now, and it's a wonderful technique, wonderful modality. And as right now, I am holding the copyrights in India. And so I happen to be the only trainer because I am the only one who's researched this field. But abroad, it's way more popular, but it's also way more successful everywhere. One thing that's required in doing a metaphor exercise is a very sharp mind. Like you cannot miss a point, you cannot miss a word. It just makes you very sharp at observations. And then you just turn the whole, one word can turn your therapeutic intervention around. So metaphor therapy is at the heart of all therapies. Whether you're using a CBT or you're using an NLP or you're using hypnotherapy, metaphors will be there. Because even if you are regressing your client, you're still looking at a stored image of metaphor. If you are progressing your client and you're looking at constructing a future vision for them, you are again looking at a metaphorical picture. So essentially, you are looking at pictures all the time. So if you are looking at pictures all the time, and picture is the language of the subconscious mind, then why not learn it? And why not do it in a systematic manner? That's why metaphor therapy, and it really, really helps. I've taught more than 5,000 students in India and internationally. I have yet to get one student who has told me that it's not been of use to them in their practice. They swear by the drawing analysis we do. They swear by the techniques that we are teaching in the metaphor, and they swear by the outcome that they get. And they're so confident. The amount of confidence this therapy can or this technique can add to your work is amazing. And there's nothing like having a confidence when you start your session that, all right, I know the tools, I know the techniques. No matter what kind of client comes in, I know how to deal. So therefore, metaphor therapy is a very, very important, since it lies at the base of all therapies. Metaphor is the base for NLP. Metaphor is the base for hypnotherapy. So once you know that, you'll understand everything else so beautifully. Right? And in the workshop that we have, which is starting on Saturday, Sunday, and once again next Saturday, Sunday, and then we are going to follow you through for 1 month with a repeat practice for 1 month and hand holding. And after that, if you don't still grasp and something is remaining, we are going to share the recordings with you all. All the recordings of all the classes will be shared with you all. There will be proper notes and manuals given to you all. And it's a 60% practical course where every technique that I teach you, I'm going to get you to practice it. Right? So this is how we are running this workshop for years now. And I would love questions from the field of mental health coaching and metaphors. Any questions that I can address and give you all clarity, I would be really finding that a great opportunity. So please do let me know of your questions.
Can I ask a question, ma'am?
Sure, please.
Ma'am, actually, I mean, how does it help? I mean, this metaphor therapy, because just now I come to know, like you, by reading drawing, how can we, I mean, consult our clients, I mean,
You
or
come
to
to know the
ourselves?
core issue. You come to know, Aisha, whether the
Yes, ma'am.
client is having anxiety, or the client is having a trauma, or the client is going through something that they are not aware of, or they are not academically oriented, or they are having a mental block about something. So all this you can come to know from the drawing.
From the drawing. All
And
right.
then
So,
I will teach you projective techniques to deal with them.
the solution, the remedies.
The solution also, yes.
Solution, no? Right. So,
Yeah.
okay. Because people are not aware in India, I mean, what is this metaphor therapy? And like,
It
as we are
doesn't
also.
matter. You see, people are not even aware of what is NLP.
Right, correct.
But when a client comes to you, they don't want to know what technique you're using. They want to know how good are they feeling at the end of it.
Okay, okay. So
It
it's
doesn't
like,
matter what technique you use. You use Reiki on them, you use Hypno on them, you use CBT on them. No, at the end, this client wants to feel better. They want to have an insight and they want a solution. This is a therapist end of it, where I need to know, do I have enough knowledge and enough techniques to run by so that I can create that eureka moment for the client.
So, right? I mean, is it like, so ma'am, is it like, the person has to meet us only for the one session, or it will like session wise?
No. It is nothing like only one session. There are no one session miracles.
Okay.
It depends. Sometimes the client can have a small issue. It will be done in one session. But if it's an ongoing thing, then we don't have any such one session miracles happening everywhere. I don't also know how they work. I know there are many people who do an energy shift in one session and they say it works, but I have seen all those experiences. I have seen that very up close and front and very, very personal, because I'm in the field from 25 years. So I know of every passing therapy fad that has come and gone. So all those one session miracles don't work.
So you mean to say we'll be able to cure that depression, anxiety, any kind of relationship issues, or any future stress, or any, I mean, not meeting the goal, or maybe some corporate issues, not happy in the current job, like that, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, Aisha. Any other question, friends?
Ma'am, I want to understand if this is also art therapy.
No, it's not art therapy. We analyze drawings. See,
Okay.
art therapy once again has a limitation. It is only cathartic to the point of expression, but it does not create a resolution.
Okay.
So art therapy is nice for a release work. But again, the client is still left for waiting for answers. Yes.
Okay. So,
Prateek?
yes, say I'm a complete beginner and I do not have any background of psychology, and if I still want to throw myself into it, learn.
You don't need a background of psychology.
Okay, okay.
You
I
don't
was
need.
concerned
The
because
techniques that I will be teaching you all are not going to be using psychological terminology.
okay.
It's technique. It's the king is the technique. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Prateek.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, we are talking about discussing with people in their drawing habits and their what they draw. That we are going to analyze, correct? But
One
ma'am,
of the
what if
things. That's just one of the
what if
things.
someone does not want to draw, or
So then I will give you another tool.
okay, so it is not only we are discussing about drawings only.
No. That's one part of the metaphor therapy exercise. Just one part. If they don't want to draw, don't worry. We'll use other metaphors. Right, Prateek? Have I answered your question?
Ma'am, how often do you hold these classes? Like, I might not be able to attend this time because it's on a short notice and I'm
Narendra,
not
you're
free
not
on
very
8,
clear.
9.
Can't hear you clearly.
Yes, ma'am. Like, I want to ask how often do you hold these classes, because I might not be able to attend this time. My 8th and 9th is like already booked.
Okay.
So, how often do you hold these sessions if I want to join in next time?
Well, we do hold them quite often.
Okay.
But I don't know right now till Diwali, so I'm sure of my schedules, but after that, I'm not.
All right. So you will be announcing it.
I'll keep announcing. I will keep announcing. I'm not going out of business. So I'm here and we'll be in
Yeah,
touch.
of course. No, like I will find you on Instagram or your site.
No, we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. Try your best, but we'll be in touch.
It can be used in combination with other techniques like with NLP and hypnotherapy.
Sorry,
Metaphor,
Narendra, can't hear you.
These metaphor techniques can be used in combination with other
Yes.
techniques with
Yes,
NLP and
beautifully.
hypnotherapy and
They can be
coaching.
integrated with hypnotherapy. They
Yeah.
can be integrated with EFT. They can be a
Okay.
beautiful part of NLP.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, Prateek.
Yeah, ma'am, this will be roughly a 1 month course, correct?
It will be a 2 week, 2 weekends followed by 1 month of practice.
So roughly 1.5 month.
Yeah, but 1 month
course
practice is
duration.
on WhatsApp, and whenever
Yeah.
we need, we'll frame meetings to come together.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Mamta.
Ma'am, it will be a certification course or what?
It will be a certification. The certificate will be issued by the counseling company.
Okay. And being I am also learning the NLP right now, and I'm doing the advanced NLP right now.
Where are you doing it from?
YSR only.
Sorry?
YSR, Yogen Singh Rathod.
Acha, Yogen Singh Rathod. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So NLP is beautiful.
It is going to be, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it's
it will
very
be
nice.
this metaphor like on the same techniques of the NLP, or it will be different
nothing
kind
is
of
the
a
same.
technique?
Nothing is same.
Oh,
Though
okay.
NLP is based on metaphor, but NLP is more, shall we say, in the moment kind of a therapy. And it's beautiful. I teach NLP. I love NLP. Very effective. But metaphor is a little incisive. It goes a little in depth.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And the meta models and the metaphors both are same kind?
No. Meta model is generalization, distortion, and deletion. No.
Okay.
Metaphors is the images stored in the subconscious.
You're right.
So they are different.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And when you're starting this course, ma'am?
Saturday, Sunday. This Saturday,
Okay.
Sunday.
From this Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Timing will be the same, 9:30.
No, timing will be 11:30 to 6.
So from morning to evening.
Morning to evening with 3 breaks. So we have Saturday morning to evening, 3 breaks. Sunday morning to evening, 3 breaks, 1 week gap. Then Saturday morning to evening, 3 breaks. Then again like that. And we have, you all must, we'll put the pricing on the group. We've kept a very, very minimum pricing for something that you are going to benefit all your life. We were earlier charging 25,000. And then the lockdown happened and we radically brought down our prices. And right now it's 18,000 for the basic and the advanced put together, and you can pay it in installments.
Okay, fine.
So we'll be putting that on the thread so you all can contact Veena. I think Veena is in touch with all of you all.
No, she has not called me.
Veena hasn't called you, Mamta?
No.
Veena from my team?
No.
Pratik, you also know? Narinda, did you receive a call from Veena?
No.
No?
Didn't receive any call. No.
Okay.
One has called. No.
Okay. Surprisingly, she should be in touch with everybody. Aisha, you also haven't received a call?
No, ma'am. Today only we just got into this WhatsApp group only. That's it.
And
No other
Vidhi, did you
information.
receive a call?
No any other information.
Vidhi received a call from Veena.
Yes, I received. Yeah.
Because many of you guys are not picking up your phone also. So, anyway, so we'll.
Must have been just a number, so we didn't know.
Sorry,
It
Narinda.
was supposed to be from you. Must have been just a number, no? So we didn't know who it was calling.
True. No worries. I'm going to put her number on the thread, and all of you can get in touch with her, and we'll hope to see you all across. Yeah, Mamta, you have a question?
No, it's over, ma'am.
All right, guys. So I just trust me because I've been 25 years in this field. And when I say techniques matter, please understand techniques matter. Degrees don't matter. If you want to be a coach in the mental wellness industry and you're putting your first foot in, do it blindly. It's a thing you will never ever regret. It is going to take your practice to the next level. Well, I'm so old in this field that I hardly feel like saying I'm selling something. I'm teaching passion. I just love teaching, and I'm very passionate as a teacher. And I just feel that, when I see people struggling for what to do with a client, or clients coming back to me and telling me that, oh, my therapist didn't pick this one up. And I'm like, how could you miss this? This was so out there, and how could it be missed? So sharpening the skills of the therapist is something that I love to do, because it's just going to make so much more difference to the entire world and to the field. So we are going to see you soon, friends. I will share this recording also on the group, and I will share the fee structure, and I will share Veena's number.
So you're from Delhi, ma'am? From Mumbai?
I'm from Mumbai. I have a clinic here in Mumbai. So I practice. I take 3-4 clients a day, and then I teach over the weekends, and then I get time. I take Mondays off. I take Wednesdays off. Whatever time I can get, I take off. And yeah, that's what it is. It's work for me all the time.
Nice meeting you, ma'am. It was nice.
My pleasure. Yes. Anish, you have something to ask?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm also into NLP Advanced.
Okay.
And I have been also taking clients, and we have been also able to give them the wow moments. So I was slightly wondering that once we change the the submodalities, and during the course, the best thing about NLP which I loved was that we don't have to really get into the episode. The episode remains in the head. We just change the visuals and we work on the modalities, and people are actually reporting very good.
So what are you trying to tell me, Anish?
Yeah, I was not very sure and clear. How does this technique really differ from NLP? Submodalities. When we
it's not NLP submodalities.
Mm-hmm.
You've just learned that. No, this is metaphors, is diving deeper into the images in the subconscious mind.
Okay. So, for example, when we talk about contrast analysis, isn't it what we do there? Let's say the event, the images that the client gives us, they're also there deep in his subconscious. And then when we create the event too, and when we swap them, isn't it precisely what we're doing in NLP also?
Anish, your voice is not too clear, but if you can ask your question in short.
Yeah, ma'am, I was saying, for example, when I do contrast analysis, in that, when the client is, let's say, in a situation, and when he gives me his visuals, they are also from his deep subconscious. And then when we create the event too, and when we swap the visuals, isn't it the same thing that we're doing there as well?
How do you reach the visual?
We start, yeah, there's a set of questions, when we
But
take the
many clients
person.
are not able to reach the visual. That's what I'm saying. When you go content free in NLP, many clients are not able to get the visual. And sometimes we can get through one technique, one of the visual, but the correlated to a related visual or a related memory that needs to be brought up is to be done through different ways. And sometimes the client is dropping it. The client is using that metaphor in the word itself. And then how do you work with it? Like for the example, we have a projection technique in which we give you pictures and then you got to write about them. That will bring out the fabric of your life, not just one matter. It will bring up the fabric of your life very beautifully.
All right.
So NLP is based on metaphors.
Right, ma'am. And ma'am, secondly, this course fee of 18,000, this is inclusive of GST, right?
Yes, it is inclusive of GST.
So we get that if we pay through the company, we can get the input tax credit on that, right?
I'm not paying GST. I'm paying income tax.
Okay. And we'll be getting certificate also, ma'am? Certificate as well.
Yeah, tell me, Anish.
Yeah, my question was, ma'am, if all right, so it's like 18,000 is just the fees, and you are not paying GST on that, so that's why you're not charging us 18%, right?
I'm not charging the GST.
All right, all right. So 18 is net total, because I was wondering, because 18% is for me technically, 18,000 minus 3,600.
No, I'm not charging GST because I'm not paying GST.
Right. Got it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Yeah. Anybody else with a question? Right, friends? So we'll see you across. And thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you all across.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Can you all please send me a message on the phone saying I attended on the WhatsApp thread?
Sure.
So that Veena knows who all have attended. So just send a message on the WhatsApp chat saying I attended. Right, friends? Thank you so much for being here. Hope to be in touch.